Hi and welcome back to 5 on the Farm. Today we're going to talk about how to build a chicken brooder out of, you guessed it, pallets. Free pallets that you can get from any number of sources. So Lee's going to explain what he did here to build this.
Hey guys, how I did this is we have this one guy that we get our pallets from that has these unusual pallets. I suppose they're not very unusual. I have seen them in other places, but they are made of nice plywood instead of like the outdoor stuff you usually see. And so there's the plywood flat on one side, and then a plywood raised area, and then plywood flats on the bottom as well. And we get stacks of them, and I actually didn't know what to do with them for a long time. And so when it came time to build a chicken brooder, I was like, oh, well, I can use that instead of to use all that flat plywood instead of going out and buying our plywood. And so this is what I did, and what I did is I used here on the sides to put them together. Instead of using additional wood, I just used some hinges that I got with screws. And so I put two parallel like this together, one on the ends and two on the other side, or one on each end. And so it's basically a big box. And what I did on the inside here is where the ends joined to this will help with keep drafts out for the birds too. Is in the center section I put a 2x4, and on the and these were actually from Pallets as well. And these 2x2s in the corners are some of the only new wood that I use. All those the 2x2s over in this corner are reclaimed. There's a nice divider in the center. And this is just for, if you have smaller. This is a pretty big brooder. It's for a lot of chicks. And so, what's nice about this is you can put them in one half if you got a small amount, and then whenever you go to clean the brooder each day, you can like just shuffle them over to the other side and start anew, and then clean out one side. So you only have to. You only have to clean every other day if you need it. Now what I did here on the front as well, you'll see on the front of this pallet we've got a door, and so I basically drilled 4 holes here for some place to start the scroll saw. And then I went to the corners of the scroll saw and I put these hinges here on the right hand side, and we got a safety latch here, and I've also got a little piece of metal here to hold this down firmly. Now what we have on the other side of that door is I put in some 1x2s. I did purchase these at Home Depot, and so I did put in these 1x2s, and that will again in this scenario keep drafts away from the chickens, which is very important when they first get into these brooders. Then we use just lights from Southern States, our local farm place that clamp on the outside edge, and that's really about it. Oh, and on the bottom I use two pallets also for the bottom. And what I do is I put casters at Lowe's, and we put the casters on the bottom. A couple of them are repurposed from old chairs, but the 4 on the corners are casters from Home Depot. So that's about it.
Well, now our chicks are about 5 days old now. We have some Americanas that we hatched from eggs that our own chickens had laid. That's these little guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them to the other brooder. Now when they're first born, you don't want to put them right on pine straw or pine shavings because they'll eat them and it will kill them. So what you do is you can put down towels, and we have to change these every day. You can see what a mess they are because they haven't been changed yet today because I'm moving them. And then these are some chickens that we mail ordered. So now they'll stay in this brooder, and then we'll move these to the other new brooder. This is another design that Lee did for this particular brooder. They didn't do on the other one. So if you didn't have the clip-on lamps, you can always just put, what is that?
That's a 2x2. 2x2 with a couple little eye hooks on the bottom, and that allows you to hang these hanging type lamps down.
Okay, and this is in our sunroom. You can see we're getting our plants started, and so it's nice and warm in here. from all the window space, and that helps with the chickens too. You want to keep the room reasonably warm. If there's somewhere that has big temperature swings, you might want to have some kind of a heater. What temperature do we need to keep these at?
Well, according to all the documents that we've read, they're like at 99 to 100 degrees when they come out of the egg, and you want to keep it about there to 95 degrees to there for the first, I think, 3 or 4 days, and then basically you every 4 days you lower it 5 degrees until you get down to about 70 degrees, and then that's pretty much room temperature, and then at that point I think that's 6 weeks on, they're down to 70 degrees, and so at that point they're pullets and they're about that high, and they're pretty much ready at that point to go outside, as long as it's not the deep of winter and getting too cold outside. You're good to put them outside in the spring at that kind of age.
And of course, they need their feed and their water. We've got some eating and drinking over here. That's about all there is.
The water does need to. Water and feed both should be changed daily. Even if they have extra water left, it really should be freshened each day.
Well, thanks for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions, just let us know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.